Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on YouTube.com and StreamYard.com. It's Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. I apologize for the late start, guys. A lot of things happened personally for me, but don't worry, everything's good. We're going to go rapid fire. So, guys, no elongated promos tonight. Let's just hit it and go. All right. So hit the ground running. AEW. We start off with the Inner Circle versus Dustin Rhodes and the Young Bucks. This was a 6-man tag team fight. When it was all said and done, it was the Young Bucks and Dustin Rhodes winning the match in 11 minutes and 36 seconds. I'm going to have to recuse myself on both shows. I did not get to see it because I was working. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
3 to 3.5 stars, nonstop wild spot fest that ignited the energy in the crowd. Some spots that were too contrived, and times wrestlers selling had to lay in position too long while others postured and delayed hitting the move, including the finish. But overall, the type of match AEW seems to want to build their brand around that fans eat up. Great finishing sequence. So that's all I can say on that. 3 to 3.5. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.5 for me. I mean, definitely a good way to start off AEW Dynamite. I mean, great work by both individuals, so nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I can agree with the rating. About 3.5. So yeah, nothing else to say.
All right, next up we had was Trent Beretta versus Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix wins the match in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
A 3-star match for me. I mean, I thought this was a good match here. Great work by both men, so there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, about 3 stars. Not much else to say.
Florio?
Yep. Another 3-star match. 3.25, just about. Like the first match, some dazzling athletic exchanges, but a bit herky-jerky and contrived at other times. So 3.25. Let's move on.
All right, there was a promo segment done by Cody Rhodes and was interrupted, I believe, by actually no, it was basically a promo by Cody Rhodes. We're not going to get into that. We're going to save our time. There was a cutout, unfortunately. Lia Bates versus Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose destroyed her in 1 minute and 38 seconds. Then we had a promo segment with Chris Jericho, Luchasaurus, and the boys started showing up. Nice little exchange there. Nothing bad to say. Then we had a women's match. It was Sada going one-on-one versus Chris Statlander. And it was Chris Statlander winning the match in 8 minutes and 37 seconds. So, Dee Woodson, I'm going to give it to you very quickly. What did you think about the women's match?
It was a good match. Kind of surprised that Sheeta lost, but you know they obviously have plans for her, especially after the little segment they had following it. So I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. So nothing else to say. It's yours, Florio.
A solid 3-star match. One of the better efforts from the women's division. Good match. Chris Statlander, good signing for AEW and a nice way to establish out of the gate that she's for real. And quick comment, I mean, after the match, Brandy and Awesome Kong came out and they tried to recruit Statlander to join their little group called the Nightmare Coalition or something like that. And I guess she didn't do it. And some plant at ringside came in and basically sacrificed herself. Kind of takes me back to the days of Serena when she joined CM Punk's Straight Edge Society almost. But nonetheless, and all I can say is Awesome Kong is looking the best I've ever seen her. I mean, is it just me or does Kong look like she's in much better shape than she was once before? She looks great. Really, really great. So,
she looks like the Awesome Kong of TNA.
Yes.
She looks like her TNA Kong.
Yeah, she looks great. That's all I can say on that. I think she's looking the best I've ever seen her. So whatever her secret is, well done. That's all I can say. So had to get that off my chest. So 3-star match, and can't believe I'm saying this. One of the rare times the AEW women's division actually put on a good fight. So credit where credit is due. So solid 3 stars. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, solid 3 stars. I mean, like you said, it was definitely one of the better efforts from the AEW women's division, and yeah, I mean that what we saw after the match, it kind of had that feeling of Serena from when she joined the Straight Edge Society. So how will this go? We'll definitely have to wait and see. But yeah, Awesome Kong looks in really good shape, and looks like the TNA version of Awesome Kong, because I think you know what I mean, the whole disaster with WWE, but TNA certainly made her really good, and who knows if whatever we see Awesome Kong in the ring in AEW, well, let's just say it's going to be full mayhem. So let's just move on, Fletch.
Next fight, we had Pentagon Jr. versus the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. Pentagon Jr. wins the match in 8 minutes and 35 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
Criminally short. I would have loved to have seen a good 10 to 15 minute bout between these two. At least 15 minutes, because these are two guys who can go. And I can only give it 2.5 to 3 for the effort. But if it had been a little more, then it could have been something really special. I understand both men aren't getting any younger. I can understand it. But at the same time, considering these two bodies of work, especially Daniels and TNA, another reference, yeah, that's all I can say. So 2.5 to 3, criminally short. Bullock, I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3. I mean, it was a short match, but I think the thing is, I mean, you want to take it easy because let's just say neither of these men are getting any younger. I mean, if they were, let's just say, in their prime, I think they would have given them a good amount of time here. But yeah, 2.5 to 3. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. 2.5 to 3.
All right, guys, it's time for the main event for AEW. Jon Moxley one-on-one with the bad boy, Joey Janela. And when it was all said and done, it was Moxley winning the match, 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
3.5 stars for me. I mean, this was definitely a good match, a great way to close out the show. I mean, both men I thought looked really good here, but Jon Moxley continues to prove why he is the ultimate badass in AEW. But yeah, I mean, I thought even Joey Janela looked really good in defeat, but Jon Moxley continues to roll. So 3.5 stars. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll agree. 3.5 stars. So it's yours, Florio.
By default, I would say maybe second, maybe at least the second best fight of the night. 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Really good match between these two. I keep saying it. Janela's a future breakout star. So, but Moxley, I think he's positioning himself to be perhaps the next challenger for Chris Jericho in the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And if that's the case, if it's anything like their Asylum match a number of years ago in WWE, we could be in for something special. So we'll see. So 3.25, 3.5, second best fight of the night to close it out. Let's get to our overall review, folks.
Dee Woodson, I lead off with you.
I'll go about 7.5 stars. This was a pretty strong show for AEW, but not one of their best. So yeah, not much more to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
I agree with Dee Dee's rating. Solid 7.5, maybe teetering on 8. I mean, there was nothing that really, sucked on this show except for that Nyla Rose squash match. But other than that, I mean, all the other matches were solid to good to great. We had 2 very good promo segments, one from Cody calling out MJF, which I thought came out really good. I liked that promo. And then Jericho with Jake Hager getting interrupted by the Jurassic Express and the Jungle Boy. And it was announced that in 2 weeks, on December 18th, a little stocking stuffer for you all, week before Christmas, we're going to see Chris Jericho against the Jungle Boy. And Jericho says, hey, Jungle Boy, you can't last 10 minutes with me. Well, we'll just see about that in a couple of weeks. So 7.5 to 8 for me. Michael Bullock, let's get to your thoughts, and then we'll get into your show, NXT.
Yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for me. I mean, I thought, the only thing that that sucked was that Nyla Rose squash match, but everything else was solid to good to great. And I can't wait to see what happens with that Jungle Boy and Chris Jericho on December 18th. And Jericho said, you can't last 10 minutes with me. And Jungle Boy said, I can. Well, memo to Chris Jericho and the immoral words of the Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. Always keep your words soft and sweet, because you might have to eat them. Because if Jungle Boy lasts 10 minutes with you, it's gonna make you look real dumb. So I can't wait to see how that goes. So 7.5 out of 10 for me. So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's get to NXT.
NXT, we lead off with Killian Dane versus Pete Dunne. The match in 14 minutes and 44 seconds. Anthony Florio, pretty good of a red hot start.
3.5 stars worth of hot start, MF. I mean, here's the thing. Originally, it was supposed to be Killian Dane against Damian Priest, but Damian Priest had, I guess, suffered an injury of some sort. So Pete Dunne steps in. If you're wondering, yes, I cringed, of course. It's a Pete Dunne match, hello, because you know why. You know why? Because he bends those digits like Beckham, a la Mauro Ranallo, who was back on tonight. So hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad he's okay. So
glad he's back too.
Yes, and it was like he never left. It was like he didn't take that 1 week hiatus. There was a whole lot of Mamma Mia's and Topes and all that. So great to see him. But anywho, story here was still the Dane Priest match that was lost due to injury. So Dunne stepped in as a natural replacement to keep it going. Now, the match didn't quite kick up to a high gear as these NXT openers typically do, but it was fine, and we'll have to wait to see how the dynamic looks in a Killian Dane, Damian Priest match once Priest is back from injury. So, but solid 3.5 stars, great way to start it off. So Michael Bullock, how did these two start off your show tonight?
I say they started off pretty well, to say the very least. 3.5 stars. I do agree with the rating. I mean, yes, and I do cringe too when Pete Dunne bends those fingers. I mean, I get the feeling at some point, guys. I mean, those fingers are gonna snap. I mean, with the way he continues to do that, and kudos. Good to see more of an Al back. I mean, it's like he hasn't lost the step. I mean, I'm glad he's back after that nonsense that he had to deal with Corey Graves. So, memo to Corey Graves. Hope you're watching this tonight, because Mauro Ranallo, he did give some time to to Nigel and Beth Phoenix. So get that through your thick skull, dumbass. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I can agree with the rating, and it's good to see Mauro back. I found out about it last week that he was going to be back. So it was great to hear him again. So nothing else I have to say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, then the next thing. Well, there was a long promo segment, Undisputed Era. They were interrupted by a whole bunch of people. This set it up for the main event of the evening. So we'll main event later on. But it was a really good promo segment. No doubt about it. Keith, who else was involved? We also had, who else was involved?
Era.
Keith Lee. Undisputed Era. Keith
they
Lee.
Started it.
Yeah.
Undisputed started it. Adam Cole was running his mouth and the whole 9 yards. And then, Keith Lee, he called out, he brought up Ciampa. He brought up, Finn Balor. He also brought up Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee came out, and I'm telling you, man, his stock is rising in a big way. Mr. Lee.
All right. Well, so that's the nuts and bolts of it. It was really good. Then we had a very emotional interview by Kushida, and I'm gonna say it. It was the most from what I'm hearing, it was one of the most powerful promos in a very, very long time. Props to WWE. Well, no, the hell with WWE. Props to NXT for this one. This is not WWE. This is NXT. So memo to them. It's very rare you get an emotional, tear-jerking promo. I think the last time we had a tear-jerker moment was really Roman Reigns after he announced that he beat leukemia. So that was the last major thing. But for Kushida, man, bro, yo, I know you from New Japan. Good for you, bro. Good for you. That's why I love this guy. Next up we had was Shayna Baszler going up against Xia Li. Non-title match. Baszler wins in 4 seconds. I'm probably guessing cutout guys here.
Reluctantly,
so
yes. Reluctantly, yes. I mean, it's a damn shame, too, because I'm very high on Xia Li. That's a damn shame.
Okay. Next up, we have Forgotten Sons versus Adrian Atlas and Leon Ruff. Forgotten Sons wins in a minute 18. I already know that's an automatic don't talk about. Next up we had was a really long promo segment. Rhea Ripley, basically, she's setting up the takeover. Rhea Ripley, and there was a lot that was going on there. So Rhea made the entrance with the mic. Dakota Kai, talking about what happened with them. Mia Yim comes out, goes after and beats up Dakota around the ring. So referees try to split that up. So it looks like Mia and Dakota, probably a rivalry there. Then, yeah, you knew it was coming. The women of MMA show up. They make their way out. And it was on. Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler finally threw down in the ring. And when it was all said and done, guys, I mean, segment of the night, this was hot. This was amazing.
Yes.
There's nothing more to add. You want to look, I'm going to say it right now. I know the fight is not until February of 2020. But
Nope. It's not.
It can't. No.
No. MF. If you're talking about Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler,
yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
The takeover.
It ain't happening at takeover. We're getting it sooner. We're getting it
December 18th.
We're getting it in 2 weeks. Stocking stuffer, baby.
There you go. All right. So
I'll set it up. I'll set it up for you. The promo and Rhea and. Rhea got laid out by the Kira Fuda clutch, and then Shayna asked for a mic, and then she says, "You want a title match? So do I. You'll get it on December 18th." Awfully specific. I mean, the Ripley and Shayna match announced for live NXT TV in 2 weeks, likely made good after the lost match, and that was a good segment, very good segment, like MF said. That removed a match that really couldn't go off, given current booking, and transitioned to 2 feuds and set up matches to come. And I say this a lot, but this could be where the Shayna story ends and she moves on to the main roster, and it'll be interesting to see where she ends up. But I'm going to make the bold prediction. 2 weeks, Rhea Ripley's going to get herself a stocking stuffer, baby. I'm calling it.
So you're calling for a new champ.
You better believe it.
Bullock, are you going to go?
Same here. I'm calling for...
Didi, are you good making it unanimous? New champion Rhea Ripley?
Yeah.
All right. There you go, guys.
And Fletch, I want to make a quick comment on the whole thing with Dakota Kai and Mia Yim. I mean, I think we all had to know that it was Dakota Kai who attacked Mia Yim before the War Games match at Takeover. I mean, I think we all knew that, and you knew payback was going to be coming for Dakota Kai, courtesy of Mia Yim, because you knew Mia Yim wasn't just going to stand by and let this bitch bully her way around, because that's what I'm calling Dakota Kai now. A damn bully.
All right.
I mean, you didn't see this, Fletch, but you know that Titantron that they have?
Yep.
It showed nothing but what she did to Tegan Knox. If that's not going low, I don't know what is.
Well, that's NXT for you, bro. There's really nothing more to say about that. So let's move on. Next fight we had was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. Matt Riddle, bro, gets the win. 9 minutes and 16 seconds. Who leads off on this? I believe it's. I kind of lost track here because we're all the chaos. You know what? I'll reset it. Floyo, you lead off.
All right, fair enough. This was about 3 to 3 1/4. Decent action, though I don't remember it covering any new ground that the previous matches didn't cover. I'm not sure what the point was here, with Ohno typically getting a couple of garbage wins before losing a semi-important match like this. It seems he's mostly there just to remind us that Worlds Collide is coming. And fans who only jumped on in the USA era may not know much about Ohno, so at least we got the brief segment earlier. Now, Worlds Collide is taking the place of NXT TakeOver when we get to the weekend of the Royal Rumble. Normally there would be a takeover here, but they're switching it to Sunday, you know, the experimental Sunday takeover on February 16 at the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. But Saturday night, January 25th, the night before the Royal Rumble, Toyota Center, Houston. It's Worlds Collide. It's going to be almost like what we just had with Survivor Series, only it's going to be NXT versus NXT UK. So think about that. So that's all there is to say on that. 3 to 3 1/4 stars. So Bullock, what do you make of all this? Worlds Collide instead of a takeover the night before the Rumble.
I like this. I can't wait to see how this goes. As far as the match, I mean, 3 1/4. I agree with it. I mean, this was basically a showcase to basically show people what can they expect the night before the Royal Rumble with that Worlds Collide with NXT versus NXT UK. I mean, I'm interested to see what some of the matches that they got planned for that night. So we'll just have to wait and see. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree with the rating, 3.5. So, Fletch is yours.
All right, and then the next thing that we had after that was no, this was it. This was the big one. Kushida makes his return to NXT, going up against Cameron Grimes, and Kushida wins the match in 4 minutes and 14 seconds. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'll give it about maybe 1.5 to 2. I mean, this is Kushida's first match back. Obviously, you don't want to give him too much time on it. So 1.5 to 2. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
I'm going to give it about 2.5 stars. So, Florio, it's yours.
I'm actually going to give it 2.5 to 3 on this. I slightly disagree with Bullock's rating. Very good action, of course, from these two. Despite the short length, it was one of the fights of the night. Kushida certainly didn't show any rust, and Grimes' act continues to shine. It was a great win for Kushida, but after Grimes' hype video last week that seemed to reintroduce him as an important guy in the hierarchy, it looks like he's still waiting his turn for the moment. So, nice moment for Kushida there, especially after that insanely powerful video, the most powerful thing we've seen in this industry since the Roman Reigns leukemia saga, which MF Bullock and I were there the night he announced it. So we'll never forget it. So kicked off what ended up being the Monday Night Raw of 2018. We all know that story. So with that, MF, main event time.
Well, before we do that, 2 matches were announced for next week. Lio Rush going one-on-one against Garza. And yes, as you know, it's going to happen. Dakota Kai versus Mia Yim. Get ready. Main event. 6-man tag team fight. It was the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Donovan Dijakovic. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 11 minutes and 46 seconds, Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Donovan Dijakovic. Keith Lee pins the champion, Adam Cole, baby. Got jackhammered for the 1, 2, 3, but wait, there is no championship committee moment here because William Regal comes out and makes 2 big announcements. Number 1, next week on NXT, it will be Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Keith Lee. The winner of that match becomes the number 1 contender for Adam Cole's NXT title. The NXT title will be defended at that point, and we're all going to say it now. It's going to happen on December 18th. So there you go. Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, and Finn Balor, they will fight next week. The winner moves on to fight Cole for the belt on the 18th. With all that said, I believe this goes to...
It goes to Didi.
Didi Woodson, my love, you lead off.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 3.5, 3 to 3.5 stars. This was a fairly good match, even with Balor interrupting the match. But the announcement after it, just pretty much kind of made the whole night, setting up for the next 2 NXTs with, the big match with the 3 of them, and then, the title match, the following. So, yeah, not much more I'm going to say about it because I know you guys got a lot to say on it. So, it's yours, Florio.
Before I give you my thoughts on the main event, MF, you left out something. That match with Lio Rush and Angel Garza, the Cruiserweight Championship's on the line.
Yep.
So that's a title match. So I just wanted to correct you on that. But other than that, you hit everything. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This was a fantastic main event. I mean, it was a mess, but it was a good and entertaining mess. And I'll tell you, the company is doing a great job of capitalizing on the groundswell for Keith Lee. And given his fall here, you have to assume he might be the one to win that triple threat next week. So I'm telling you, I think they're strapping the rocket on him. That's all there is to say on that. And I'm hoping so. But then again, whoever comes out of it, we're guaranteed a fun match no matter who wins. So we all win. That's all there is to say on that. Because of how ridiculously over, wink wink, Keith Lee is. And Ciampa, former champion, he was never officially beaten for the title. He had to give it up because of the neck injury. So he's got a gripe there. Balor, he's already had it. So, but then again, Balor and Cole, who wouldn't love to see that? So that's 5 stars waiting to happen. Then again, Ciampa is too. And maybe Cole could get a 5-star out of it. I mean, maybe Lee could get a 5 out of it. You never know because of the insane things he does for a man his size. So I can't wait. So we all win. It doesn't matter who wins. So nothing more to say. 3.5, 3 3/4. This was my fight of the night. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, Adam Cole. You're in trouble, baby, no matter who comes out of that triple threat. Don't matter. We're all going to be the winners. So, Bullock, what says you, Mr. NXT?
I'd be good with any one of those possibilities, but either way, Adam Cole, could be kissing that title goodbye, but we'll wait and see how everything goes with next week. But for here, 3.5 to 3 3/4. I agree. This was definitely a really good match. Great way to close out NXT. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. I think it's time for the overall review for NXT.
It is. It is time for the overall review, and Didi and
I start.
Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, you lead off.
Yes, sir. Great, another great NXT. I mean, what else is there to say? I gotta go maybe about 8.5 here. I mean, this was another very good show here. First and foremost, great to see Mauro Ranallo back. I mean, that was one of the many highlights of this show here tonight. Actually, no, I'm leaning more towards the 7.5 to 8 for AEW. I think it was more of a draw this time around. So, everything came out really good. I mean, we set the groundwork. Next week, we have Garza and Rush for the Cruiserweight Championship. We got Mia Yim against Dakota Kai. That should be hella fun. And and then that big triple threat. Even in the week, I mean, there wasn't really a standout match, but even in the week without it, it was still an easy watch. Several angles were advanced. I enjoyed it, and Keith Lee's night to shine. That's all there is to say on that, and I love that. I was so happy for that, and all I can say is December the 18th. Mark that down, 2 weeks. Double stocking stuffers. We're getting 2 stocking stuffers for the price of 1 with that women's championship match, the big money match we've been waiting for with Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley, and then Adam Cole defending the NXT championship against either Ciampa, Balor, or Lee. I think one title will change hands. The other, I don't know. But if they pull the trigger on both, we're looking at the greatest NXT show of all time, TV-wise. Forget TakeOver. So that's all I can say on that. So 7.5 to 8. I got to say it's a draw. Both shows, I think, were right there with each other. So that's all I can say on that. So Bullock, for the first time since we started this whole thing, I got to call a draw here. I can't put one over the other. I'm sorry.
I'm calling it a draw too. I'm giving this a 7.5 to 8 as well. So I think both shows deliver. I mean, it's hard to just basically pick one over the other. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Florio pretty much touched on everything. So DD, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree with the rating. So let's put a bow on it.
All right, guys. So we're done for the night. Tomorrow is College Football Thursday. We're going to be covering all the conference championship games. Friday, unfortunately, I will not be able to host. Work commitments got me working a lot later than usual. Anthony Florio will be taking over as the host for this edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Anthony will be doing SmackDown Live, and that will be at 10 or 10:30. Anthony, you get to call the shot on that. Saturday, once again, will be NFL Saturday, and this will be the last time we're going to have NFL Saturday because starting the week after, we're moving it to Thursday night. So big news coming, guys. This is the final episode of College Football Thursday, and then the week after, NFL Thursday will take its place, and that will be the setup for the future Strictly Sports down the line. So we got that, and we're done for tonight. So thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, Didi Woodson. Thank you, Michael Bullock. And thank you, guys. Leave a comment at the bottom, like the video, share with all your friends on all social media platforms. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.